I worked NYC subway night shift. At 3:33 a.m., we stopped at Station 13. I've worked for the New York City subway system for 7 years. I know every station, every tunnel, every emergency exit on the 6 train line. But on March 15th, 2024, at exactly 3:33 a.m., the train stopped at a station that doesn't exist. Not on any map. Not in any schedule. Station 13. And the 3 passengers who got on never got off. This is what happened that night, and why I'll never work the overnight shift again. My name is Marcus, 32 years old. I've been an MTA train operator since 2017. Most people think subway work is easy. Sit in a cab, push buttons, announce stations. But overnight shifts are different. Fewer passengers, more darkness, and a strange quiet that settles into the tunnels after 2 a.m. March 15th started like any other night. I clocked in at 11:47 p.m. Checked my route. 6 train, northbound. Brooklyn Bridge to Pelham Bay Park. Standard loop. My conductor was a guy named Tommy, mid-50s. Been with MTA since the 90s. Quiet, professional, never made small talk. Storm's coming, he said as we prepped the train. Might get delays. I checked the weather. Light rain, nothing serious. We pulled out at midnight sharp. The first few hours were normal. Scattered passengers, late shift workers, a couple of drunk college kids, the usual. By 3 a.m., the train was nearly empty. Just 4 passengers in the entire 6-car train. That's when Tommy came on the intercom. Marcus, we got a signal issue at 33rd Street. Central's rerouting us through the express tunnel. Copy that. I'd been through the express tunnel dozens of times. Maintenance route, rarely used at night, but not unusual. The train switched tracks. The lights flickered once, then stabilized. We entered the tunnel. And everything changed. The first thing I noticed was the sound, the usual rhythm of wheels on tracks, that steady, mechanical heartbeat. It changed, became uneven. Like the spacing between rails was off. I checked the speedometer, normal, 35 miles per hour. But it felt slower. Or maybe time felt slower. The tunnel walls looked different too. Older. The tiles were cracked, discolored, like we'd gone back decades. Tommy, you seeing this? I radioed. Static. Tommy? More static. Then his voice, distorted. Keep going. Don't stop. The train kept moving. And then I saw the lights. Up ahead. Platform lights. But there wasn't supposed to be a station in this tunnel. I checked my route map. Nothing listed between 33rd and Grand Central. But the lights were there. Getting closer. And then I saw the sign. White tile, black letters. Old MTA font. From the 70s. My chest tightened. The train began to slow. No, 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 I muttered. I didn't touch the brakes. But we were slowing anyway. Like something else was controlling the train. We pulled into the platform. Full stop. And I saw them. 3 people standing on the platform. Waiting. The first was a woman. Mid-30s. Wearing a long wool coat. Hair styled like it was from the 90s. The second was a man. Older. Maybe 60s. Suit and tie. Briefcase. The third was a teenager. Backpack. Walkman headphones around his neck. They stood perfectly still. Not talking. Not moving. Just waiting. The doors opened. I didn't open them. They just opened. The 3 passengers stepped onto the train. One by one. No hurry. No expression. I watched them through the cab camera feed. They sat down. Spread out across different cars. Didn't look at each other. Didn't look at anything. I radioed Tommy. Did you see that? No response. Tommy. Static. Then the doors closed, and the train started moving again. I didn't touch the controls. We pulled out of Station 13, back into the tunnel. Within 30 seconds, the walls returned to normal. The sound returned to normal. My radio crackled back to life. Marcus? You there? Tommy's voice. Clear now. Yeah, I'm here. Did you see that station? What station? Station 13. We just stopped there. 3 people got on. Silence. Marcus, we've been in the express tunnel for 6 minutes. No stops. We're approaching Grand Central now. I looked at the clock. 3:39 a.m. 6 minutes had passed, but it felt like 20. I pulled into Grand Central. The platform was empty. Normal. I checked the passenger cameras again. The 3 people were still there. Sitting. Staring straight ahead. I made the announcement. Grand Central. Stand clear of the closing doors. Nobody moved. Not the 3 from Station 13. Not the 4 original passengers. Wait. I counted the passengers on camera. 7. But there should only be 7 total. 4 originals plus 3 from Station 13. I counted again. 7 visible on camera. But in car 3, there was a shadow. 8 figure. Standing in the corner. Not moving. Just standing. But when I zoomed in, nothing. Empty space. The rest of the shift was a blur. We made the normal stops. Passengers got on and off. But the 3 from Station 13 never moved. Never left. By 5:30 a.m., when my shift ended, they were still sitting there. I reported it to my supervisor. 3 passengers wouldn't exit at the terminal. I said. They've been on the train for 2 hours. He sent security to check. They came back 15 minutes later. Train's empty, Marcus. No one on board. That's impossible. I saw them on camera. Show me. I pulled up the footage, rewound to 3:33 a.m., the moment we stopped at Station 13. But on the recording, the train never stopped. It went straight through the express tunnel. No pause, no station, no passengers. You're seeing things, my supervisor said. Go home, get some sleep. But I knew what I saw, so I started digging. I went to the MTA archive, public records, station histories. I searched for Station 13. Nothing. Then I tried something else. I looked up stations that were closed or abandoned. New York has dozens. City Hall Station, 18th Street, Worth Street, but none called Station 13. Then I found a digitized blueprint. Original subway construction, 1904. And there it was, between 33rd Street and Grand Central on the old IRT line. Proposed Station 13. But there was a note in red ink. Construction halted. Section sealed. 1906. No explanation why. I kept digging. Found a newspaper article from 1906. New York Times. Mysterious disappearances halt subway construction. The article described how 3 workers vanished during overnight shifts, all in the same tunnel section. Their bodies were never found. Construction in that section was stopped. The tunnel was sealed. And the station was never built. But according to the article, locals reported seeing lights in the abandoned tunnel for years after, hearing trains that weren't scheduled, and some claimed to see figures on a platform that didn't exist, waiting. I called Tommy, asked him to meet me after his next shift. We met at a diner in Queens, 2 a.m. He looked tired, more than usual. You wanted to talk about that night, he said. I nodded. You said we didn't stop, but I saw it, Tommy. Station 13. He was quiet for a long moment. Then He leaned forward. "I've been with MTA for 28 years, he said. And I've learned one rule. Don't talk about what you see after 3 a.m. You've seen it before." He nodded slowly. "Twice. Once in 1997. Once in 2015. Both times 3:33 a.m. Both times Station 13. What is it? I don't know, but I know this. The people who get on at Station 13 don't leave, not on this side." "What do you mean?" He pulled out a folded piece of paper, handed it to me. It was a list, names, dates, MTA employees who worked overnight shifts on the 6 train. Between 1995 and 2023, I scanned the list. What am I looking at? 12 people on that list disappeared, all within weeks of reporting a stop at Station 13. My blood ran cold. "They don't just vanish," Tommy continued. "They transfer, they quit, they move away. But if you dig deeper, no forwarding address, no social media, no trace." He stood up. "My advice, forget what you saw. Request a different line. And never, ever, work the 3:33 shift again." He left. I sat there for a long time, staring at the list. The last name was dated March 2023, exactly 1 year ago. I requested a transfer the next day, told them I wanted off the 6 train, any other line, any other shift. They approved it without question. I haven't worked overnight since. But sometimes, late at night, when I'm lying in bed, I think about those 3 passengers. The woman in the wool coat, the man with the briefcase, the teenager with the Walkman. Where did they come from? Where were they going? And are they still riding that train? I don't know. But I do know this. If you ever take the 6 train late at night, and the train slows down between 33rd and Grand Central, check the time. If it's 3:33 a.m., don't look out the window. Don't watch the platform. And whatever you do, don't get off at Station 13. Because once you step onto that platform, you might never leave. The MTA denies Station 13 ever existed. They say it's an urban legend, a myth. But I've seen the blueprints. I've read the articles, and I've been there. So if you're reading this and you work for the MTA, check the overnight logs for March 15th, 2024. You'll see my route was 6 minutes longer than it should have been. 6 minutes I can't account for. 6 minutes that don't exist. Except in Station 13.